Hare Krishna. We all want to be happy. But why do we care about happiness? What do we think makes us happy and what actually does make us happy? There are countless ideas about what happiness is and how we can get some. His Grace Vanamali Prabhuji will give discourse to make our life content and happy. Our speaker, His Grace Vanamali Prabhuji, holds a bachelor degree of science in physics. Before joining in ISKCON, he was serving as a military officer in Indian Army. He joined the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in the year 1996. And in the year 1998, he joined Brahmachari Ashram in Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari Temple, Juhu, in Mumbai. He is a disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who is a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. He was a former vice president of ISKCON Meera Road Temple and presently serving as a counselor to congregations. He also does preaching programs for youth all over Mumbai, Thane and some parts of Rajasthan like Udaipur and Bhilwara. He also travels to East Africa for preaching. So let us hear nectar from his mouth. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. International Society for Krishna Consciousness welcomes all of you for this happiness course. Please accept the blessings of Lord Shri Krishna and mercy of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Our course on happiness based on the statement by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We want to give people that kind of happiness which is ever increasing, unlimited and uninterrupted. That is our mission of giving happiness to people. Yes, in previous session we saw that God is source of everything, also source of happiness, and that God is possessing 6 opulences by which He is controlling everybody, and the 6 opulences is all wealth, all knowledge, all beauty, all strength, fame, above that all renunciation. The 6 opulences is possessed by God, and that person who possesses all the 6 opulences for all time, we saw, is none other than Krishna. We spoke about Krishna's beauty, we spoke about Krishna's wealth, we spoke about Krishna's strength. Today we will speak about fame. God is one who possesses all fame. We find that we are famous in this world for some time, but we are not famous for all the time. Maybe in the class or in our society or in our small club, we recite a poetry or write an essay or a small dance or an act, and we become famous for some time. But we are not famous for all the time. We are not famous, the most famous, forever. So Krishna is all famous. Once I was in Kenya giving a session on happiness course and said Krishna is all famous. So in the audience One of the local persons said that in our country we never heard anybody called as Krishna. So many of us don't know who is Krishna. We never heard about Krishna. Then the question is, how can you say that Krishna is all famous? He was famous, is famous, and will remain famous. Krishna has abundance of famous for all the time. Then I answered the question by telling this is Kenya, which is in Africa. So in this country there are law-abiding citizens. For example, let us take in India. There are citizens of India. We are staying in India, and in India there is a big prison house in Andaman and Nicobar, very famous, called as the Kala Pani. The most notorious of the criminals are put into that. Suppose there is a notorious criminal who is in this prison for life sentence for past 40 years, 50 years, and now you go and tell him, do you know, my dear sir, at present who is the Prime Minister? I will tell you, he is Shriman Narendra Modi. But this prisoner says that, I don't believe that Narendra Modi is a Prime Minister, because he is in the prison house and he does not know what is happening in the country, and he still believes that Jawaharlal Nehru is the Prime Minister. But his belief or disbelief in Narendra Modi as Prime Minister, does that make any difference to the Prime Minister, the present Prime Minister of India? No. Similarly, in the creation, the 3/4 is a spiritual world where there are unlimited living beings who are worshipping and glorifying Krishna in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Lok. And 1/4 is called, the prison house is called as the material world where we live. And we may believe or we may not believe, but it does not make any difference. The 3/4 is the majority, and they were, will, and is glorifying Krishna. Krishna was famous in the past, is famous in the present, and will remain famous in future also. Whether we know Krishna or we don't know Krishna doesn't make difference. Krishna still remains famous. What to speak of Krishna's fame? Krishna in his childhood in Vrindavan started to act like a thief. He started robbing butter. He was called a butter thief. But Krishna was such a thief that everybody started glorifying Krishna as butter thief. Even today, people talk with love and enjoy his pastime as butter thief. His fame as butter thief increased. You, me, or anybody start robbing or thieving, do you think our fame will increase? We will become famous? No, one becomes infamous. But Krishna, whatever he does, he becomes famous. What to speak? From the battlefield, he ran away and jumped, and he landed in Gujarat, a place called Dakhor. And from there he went to Dwarika. Running away as a soldier does not bring fame, it brings infame. One becomes infamous. But Krishna, even today in Dakhor, is glorified, and people at this time may be shouting his glories. Dakhor ma kon che, Raja ran chhod che. In this way, that is the glories of Krishna. What to speak of the fame of Krishna? Anybody who just glorifies Krishna, he becomes glorious. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, he was glorifying Krishna all over the world, and today he is being glorified all over the world, all the time. That is the fame of Krishna. Krishna was famous, is famous, and will remain famous. We become famous for some time, but not for all time. In this way, Krishna possesses all famous for all time. What to speak of knowledge? Now we come to the fifth aspect, knowledge. Knowledge. Krishna possesses all the knowledge for all the time. When Krishna was in the battlefield of Kurukshetra on the auspicious Mokshda Ekadashi, early in the morning, the war broke out, and Arjuna, in the midst of the army, battlefield, he said that now I don't feel like fighting, and Krishna had to inspire him. He spoke Bhagavad Gita in 40 minutes, and Arjuna understood the Bhagavad Gita in 40 minutes. The same Bhagavad Gita, to understand it takes 40 years. Still people don't understand Bhagavad Gita incomplete. That is the depth of knowledge Krishna possesses. And Krishna did not have to cramp all the slokas. Tomorrow Arjuna is going to ask some question and I have to answer those questions. No, Krishna was smiling and speaking, and this became known as Bhagavad Gita, the most powerful dialogue, the most powerful book, answer to all questions of this world. A small girl in a school wrote a beautiful poem. She writes, "In the dark of the night, in the depth of the forest, there is a big black rock. In that rock is a small black ant. Nobody in this world knows about the ant, but one person knows, that is God." Krishna had knowledge of everything that happened in the past, is having knowledge of what is happening in the present, and is also having knowledge of what is going to happen in future. That is knowledge which Krishna possesses. We may have knowledge but for few things, not about all the things. So in this way, Krishna qualifies as all-knowing God. With all these wonderful qualities, Krishna possesses the sixth quality of renunciation. The big mountains, the deserts, the land and the oceans belongs to Krishna. We have a small house and we put the board saying that this belongs to the Chopras or the Sharmas or our own name. But mountains and deserts, land, everything belongs to Krishna. Never ever he has written that this is my property, because Krishna knows this is mine. He possesses all the wealth for all the time. We may take it, we may put our name, but Krishna knows that name will go and again it will come back to him. Oceans of water, full of water, doesn't write his name. This is Krishna. We take water and put it in a bottle and put our name. But Krishna is so renounced, he never puts his name in anything. So in this way, Krishna shows his renunciation. Krishna was so much in love of Vrindavan, and people in Vrindavan, the Brajvasis, They loved Krishna like anything. It was very genuine and deep and pure love. When Kansa, his uncle, due to envy, wanted to kill Krishna, was sending demons after demon, Krishna said, "This is a disturbance to my dear devotees." So he left Vrindavan at the age of 11. And when he went to Mathura, he never ever came back. Even though in the heart of the heart, he loved Vrindavan, he loved the Brajvasis, the Vrindavan Vasis. That is renunciation, because he knew that again if he comes to Vrindavan, again Kansa and Kansa's friends will attack Vrindavan. So that is renunciation. Lord Ram, when it was announced that he is going to be throned as the king of Ayodhya, next morning when his father said that he will be banished for 14 years and Bharat will be throned, Lord Ram smiled, paid obeisances and left immediately. Had anyone else, you, me, been there, we would have questioned, we would have put a big, we would have said, no, this is wrong, something wrong, and we would have put a case on this kind of person, even though he may be a father. So that is the renunciation of Lord Sri Ramchandra, that is the renunciation of God. With all these wonderful opulences, he is detached. That is the real beauty of God. So God is source of everything and is source of happiness and is a supreme operator, because he possesses all these wonderful qualities by which he can control and he can attract and make people happy. He is the supreme source of happiness. With all these wonderful qualities, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. He is the supreme enjoyer. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. So we may say we are God, but how much can we enjoy? If we eat too much, we end up with diabetes or some kind of ulcer. If we sleep too much, we end up with other kind of disease like blood pressure and other things. And if we indulge in too much of illicit activities, one end up with many skin diseases or AIDS and many terrible diseases. And in this way, we can see we are enjoying, but our enjoyment cannot be unlimited. But Krishna is a supreme enjoyer. Once a reporter was inquisitive, wanted to know who is God. He is from German. So he came. One of his friends said that you go to India. In India, you find that there are many people who are fanatic about God. You will understand there are many gods. You will understand who is God. So when he came to India, he saw that there are many temples. People are rushing to all the temples. Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesh, Lord Kartikeya, Durga, Hanuman, Ram, Krishna. And the reporter was asked, who is God? And with his full analysis, he smiled and said, I've visited all the temples, all the gods, and I come to one conclusion, that of all, there is one person who I will claim is God, and he is Krishna. So the Indians who interviewed said, how can you say Krishna is God? Then he said that I went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was having trident. That means he is into some kind of act. Lord Ganesh is also having some kind of spear. Lord Kartikeya, he is sitting with weapons. And Hanuman is having a big club. And Durga with sword and many kinds of hands and some kind of activity she is When I came to Krishna, I found that Krishna is smiling and he is having a flute in his hand and is having a beautiful partner. So I understood, if somebody is God, he must be the supreme proprietor and he must be the supreme operator and he must be the supreme enjoyer. Everything is in his uncontrolled and is now simply enjoying, playing flute and having good time with his partner. So this way he came to the conclusion of the scriptures that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So Krishna being the source of happiness, we require happiness, we should get connected to Krishna. Then once we get connected to Krishna, no force in this world can stop us from being happy. The point is, why is it so difficult to understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of God? As we said, to understand God, we require intelligence. Yes, we do have intelligence and Krishna is God. Then why is it that we don't understand Krishna is God or God, there is God? That is because we have intelligence. Our intelligence is limited to how to get good food, shelter and clothes. Our intelligence is not fine or pure to understand God. We have intelligence, like we said before, to experience anything we require sense. Eyes, we require to see the shape, ears to experience sound, nose to experience fragrance, tongue to experience taste, and skin to experience the cold, hot kinds of things. And we require mind to experience soul, Sachidananda, eternal, knowledgeable and full of bliss. And similarly we require intelligence. We require intelligence, we are intelligent, but our intelligence is blocked. Like I gave the example in the previous session, there is a flower with fragrance and we have nose. We are able to experience the fragrance, but another friend, because he is trying to experience the fragrance but he is not able to experience the fragrance from the flower. Why? Does he not have a nose? Yes, he is having nose because he is breathing. Does not the flower has a fragrance? The flower has fragrance. But what is the problem? He has got cold. Yeah, similarly, because he has got cold, he is not able to experience the fragrance. He takes some medicines and the cold gets, the nose which is blocked goes away, then the blockage goes away, then he can experience the fragrance. Similarly, we have intelligence but there is a blockage. That's why we are not able to experience Krishna is God, is present everywhere and he is giving us all the happiness. We remove the blockage of our intelligence, the cataract of the intelligence. We make disease of the intelligence. We make our intelligence pure. We can experience Krishna everywhere and we can experience unlimited, ever increasing, uninterrupted happiness and make our life happy and make others also happy. Hare Krishna.